Okay, so what we're going to do is at the top, make sure your paper's sideways, not vertical. So sideways like this, and we're going to put at the top 1 point perspective. Okay, 1 point perspective. The first thing we're going to do is draw our horizon line. Okay, the horizon line. You're going to put it somewhere near the center. It doesn't have to be perfectly in the center, right? And then make sure that your line goes straight across. This is about right, close to the center as possible. Then you're just going to draw a line going directly across. Again, you don't really need a ruler, you just need something that has a straight edge so you can use to draw the line across. Okay, so this is our horizon line. Okay. So make sure you're writing everything I'm writing as well. So it's a 1 point perspective, horizon line, and in the center, we are going to put a circle. This is our VP for vanishing point. Okay. Everything we draw will go to that 1 point. Okay. All of the objects we draw, and we're going to draw a total of about 4 or 5 things. We probably won't finish them today, but we'll do at least, I would say, 2. Okay. We're going to start with a square. Okay. Please let me know if I'm going too fast or if you need me to repeat something. Okay. We're going to draw a square and turn it into a box or a rectangular box. Okay. So draw a square, put it in the same spot I just put mine in. If you put it too close to the line, the horizon line, it will look a little off compared to mine. Okay. If your square looks more like a rectangle, it's not a big deal. That's fine. Okay. Okay. So we have a square, we have the vanishing point, okay, and we have the horizon line. Now we're going to go to every corner and line it up to the vanishing point. Okay. Now I'm going to start here in the top or bottom left. Don't do this top left until I do it because I'm going to show you what we're going to do because we're going to make this box look like it's open on the inside. All right, so bottom left corner, line that up with the vanishing point on the center of your paper. Don't draw this line too dark because we're going to be erasing part of these lines, okay, these orthogonal lines. So these are, again, the orthogonal lines. So bottom left corner, line it up with the vanishing point, connect it. Then you're going to go to the next bottom right corner, line it up to the vanishing point, and draw the line, okay? Again, your lines should obviously get closer and closer together as they go to the vanishing point. Then you're going to go to the top right corner, same thing, line it up with the vanishing point, and draw a line going to that vanishing point, okay? And now the last line or last corner. Watch how I do this. I'm not going to draw the whole line. So I'm going to go to the corner here. I'm going to line it up with the vanishing point. And I am only going to draw the line until it hits this other vertical line right here. Okay. So it looks like this now. Okay. Bottom left corner to the vanishing point. Bottom right corner to the vanishing point. Top right corner to the vanishing point. And then the last top left corner goes to the vanishing point, but I stop it when it hits this vertical line. Okay. So hopefully you can now see how our box is going to look. You can decide now how long we want our box to be, or how deep, I guess you can say. I'm going to make it not super long and irregular looking, just a normal. So I want it to end. I want the box to end right here. I'm going to put a dot right there. Okay. Please watch me do these next two lines. These next two lines are important, and sometimes when people do these incorrectly, the box looks lopsided. Okay. We're going to copy this vertical line and this horizontal line. Okay. Over here where this dot is. So this goes straight down in between these two lines. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to make a perfectly straight line like this. If you don't make this line perfectly straight, your box will look lopsided and wonky. Okay, so these two lines should match. Okay. The next line is where people tend to get a little confused. Remember, we're copying this horizontal line straight across. Sometimes people just will eye it or eyeball it, and they'll do this. So you can already tell how that looks wrong, right? So I'm going to erase that. And it looks wrong because it's not perfectly straight across like it should be. And it should go like this, straight across. Okay, so let me erase that incorrect line that was at an angle. Okay, and now we have our box. I'm going to darken the lines that I want to show up more. And then I'm going to erase the lines that we no longer need. Okay. All right, so we no longer need these orthogonal lines. So go ahead and erase them. All right. Now we have a box that's in 1-point perspective. All the lines, these angled lines, go to the vanishing point in the center of the paper. Okay. So now let's push it even more and make it look like it's more 3D by shading it. I'm going to make it look like the light is coming from the right. Therefore, the bottom of our box will be the darkest, right? Because this is the top, this is the side, and this is the inside of our box, right? So I'm just going to quickly shade it to, again, push the illusion that it's more 3D. Okay. And then I'm just going to make it light here on this side. And now, time to shade the inside. So a common thing that people do is they think that this is going to be super light, right? Because the light's coming from here. Keep in mind, as you go deep into the box, it gets darker, right? So this part in here is dark, and then it'll get lighter as it go out. And then same thing. This inside ceiling of the box will actually be darker than the sidewall. Okay? And so now this looks more 3D, not just because it's lined up with the vanishing point, but we also shaded it. Okay. If this line, by the way, for you touches this corner or gets closer to this corner, that's fine too. It's just you put it in a slightly different spot than I did. Okay. So there's our box in 1-point perspective drawing, or 1-point linear perspective. Right? Pretty easy, right? Started with the square, lined up all the corners to the vanishing point, and we were able to line it all up. Okay. All right. We're going to do a circle now. Instead of putting it up top, I'm going to put it in the bottom down here. Okay. The circle, don't make it tiny and don't make it large, just a medium-sized circle. If you make it too small, you're going to have a tough time drawing it. Okay. It's a medium-sized circle, not tiny and not huge, right? We're going to turn this circle into a cylinder. Okay. The easiest objects to draw in 1-point drawing, it's fine, Donovan, if it does turn out like a potato. The easiest things to draw are things with corners. Okay, things with curves are a little more difficult, so that's why I want to show you how to draw that. So we're going to go to the, so we have the circle, we have the vanishing point, right? You're going to grab the ruler or the edge of a book. Actually, I'll do this one with the edge of the book so you guys can see. You're going to go line up the edge of the book with the furthest bottom part of our circle. Okay. Yeah. See. Okay, now we line it up and we connect it to the vanishing point. Make sure I can see it. Goes up and it touches the vanishing point. And then we're going to go to the top of the vanishing, or of the circle, and line it up with the furthest part of the circle, line up to the vanishing point, and now we have that. Now it looks kind of like a spotlight, right? Circle, top line, bottom line. Both of them meet up at the vanishing point, right? So it's almost going to look as well like a telescope or a tube, right? Because that's essentially what we're creating. So when you have an object that only has curves, you go to the top part of the object and the bottom part of the object. Yes, absolutely, Donovan. It's like the Batman signal, right? Now we get to decide, just like we did up here, we get to decide how long or how deep we want the tube to be. Okay, you don't want it to be this far or this long because then it looks inaccurate, right? We want it to just be an average. And so like we copied these, line up with that vertical line, and this horizontal line lines up with this horizontal line. We're doing that, but with this curved line or this arc of our half circle. Okay, I'm going to go halfway to the vanishing point, which is about here. And I'm going to mimic this curve, but if you notice, you have a smaller space. So that curve, you want to try and match as best you can, right? So again, I just drew a curve that mimics this curve of our circle, right? And now I can go ahead and darken the edges of our cylinder or our tube. Okay. And now I can erase the orthogonal lines I no longer need. Okay. All right. And now to push it even further, we're going to shade it as well. Let's go ahead and shade it as if the light is coming from the top here. Okay. So therefore, the top of our cylinder is the brightest or lightest, and the bottom of our cylinder will be the darkest. So shade this bottom section, and then I'm going to go up, and as I'm going up, it gets lighter. And we're going to make this cylinder, just like our box, we're going to make it look like it's open on the inside. Okay. That's a quick rough shading, just to push the idea that it's curving. And now the inside is a little tricky when it comes to the shading. So if you're looking at a tube and you look into it, as you go further in, like a tunnel, it gets darker and darker, right? So it's going to be dark here on this corner, or this side, I should say corner. And as I go to the left of the cylinder, it's going to get a little lighter. And this, again, will give you the illusion that it's getting darker and darker as you go into the tube. Okay. There's our tube in 1 point perspective. Okay.